Fredo's SaxaVord Adventures, launching in T-minus 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Let's go!
Fredo, keep your feet on the ground and your eyes on the stars. Fredo, it's your time now to do your part. Show us satellites, space, environment and more. Some ponies and puffins and Vikings galore. There are so many mission patches to earn. Fredo, it's your time to learn in Fredo's SaxaVord Adventures.
That's me.
Hiya pals, Fredo here, gearing up for our first ever adventure. I'm trying to become an Unstronaut, which I think is the best job ever, being part of the SaxaVord Spaceport team. To become an Unstronaut, I need 5 mission patches in my booklet. We're starting off with a really important one today because I've been wondering, why is SaxaVord Spaceport all the way up here in Shetland? It's so far from everywhere. Why is it here instead of somewhere else? Well, I'm about to find out. I'm going straight to the source to learn why SaxaVord Spaceport is in Shetland. To earn my Why SaxaVord patch, I've got to 1. Learn why SaxaVord is located in Shetland. What makes it the perfect place for rockets? 2. Understand how the space, weather and safety of Shetland all play a role in SaxaVord's success. 3. Use what we have learned to understand why other spaceports are located where they are. Stay tuned, friends. This is going to be awesome! And remember, keep your feet on the ground and your eyes on the stars. Let's go and meet Frank Strang.
Hello Fredo, I hear you're wondering what we're doing here at SaxaVord Spaceport up here on Shetland.
That's right, Frank. I'm trying to figure out why SaxaVord chose Shetland. I've been looking at maps and spinning globes, but I still don't get it. Why is SaxaVord here instead of somewhere else?
So Fredo, the main reason that we've built a spaceport here on SaxaVord is mostly around safety and our location on the island. Our location is right at the end of Great Britain, just as you come to the end of the British Isles and we come onto Shetland, right here on Unst, we're right at the end of the world as we know it. So it means that the sea space is clear, the airspace above us is clear, and when we launch our rockets, there are not many people within our what we call our safety exclusion zone, so we can launch our rockets safely and quickly from SaxaVord.
So it's like having your own giant backyard to launch rockets. That makes sense.
Exactly, and it's just like launching from our own back garden. But there's another reason too, Fredo, and that's down to weather. We don't get a lot of snow in Shetland, but we do get some wind. And to launch our rockets, we need to be able to launch in 30 knots or less of wind, and we need a 3-hour window to launch our rockets. And believe it or not, although it seems to be windy up here all the time in Shetland, in the summer and from the spring to the late summer, 95% of the days we have a 3-hour window where we can launch, and in the winter it's 1 day in 3. So it's a very temperate climate. We don't get thunderstorms like they do in Florida, where Cape Canaveral is and NASA. And so the weather plays a very important part in when we launch our rockets.
So predictable weather means more successful launches.
So one of the most important reasons why we have sited our spaceport at SaxaVord is safety. Obviously, rockets are full of fuel. If they blow up, they can make a big bang, and there's a danger that somebody or something could be hurt. So where we are on our remote peninsula at Lamennais means that we're at least 2.5 kilometres away from the nearest house. So nobody can get into our what we call safety exclusion zone. So should something go wrong on the launch pad, everyone is safe. When the rocket launches and goes heads into orbit, the airspace is clear. There are not too many airplanes flying overhead, and should something go wrong with the rocket and it explodes, all the little bits of metal and fragmentation will fall into the sea. So it's very important that we keep everyone and everybody safe.
It's like choosing the safest place in the world to launch rockets.
You've nailed it, Fredo. Safety is a very important factor in why we've located our spaceport here at SaxaVord, along with the weather and the location. But now you're going to meet Bryden Priest, our Community Projects Officer, who's going to tell you a lot more interesting stuff about SaxaVord Spaceport.
Thanks, Frank. Hi, Bryden. Frank told me all about why SaxaVord is here in Shetland, but I want to know more. What makes this the perfect place for launching rockets?
Well, Fredo, SaxaVord was built here in Shetland for 3 important factors: space, weather and safety. As Frank said, we have plenty of space here to launch without any obstacles in the air or the sea. That's a pretty big advantage when you're dealing with rockets.
Right. So SaxaVord can keep everything under control and launch rockets safely without anything getting in the way.
Exactly. The safety thing is a pretty big deal. Because we're in a remote area, it means we can launch safely without putting any people or buildings at risk. Safety is always our #1 priority.
So SaxaVord is in Shetland because it's super safe for rockets.
Yeah, that's right. And all of these factors, space, weather and safety, make Shetland the best place for SaxaVord Spaceport.
All right, Unstronauts, now it's your turn. We've learned why SaxaVord is the perfect place for launching rockets. But what about other places in the world? We're going to do some research and figure out why other spaceports are in their locations. Here's the challenge. You're going to look up 3 spaceports: Kennedy Space Center in Florida, USA, the Pacific Spaceport Complex in Alaska, and French Guiana in South America. Then, you'll need to figure out why each one is in its location. Think about the things we've learned today: safety, weather, space, and access to the ocean. Can you guess the reasons these spaceports are built where they are? We'll give you a little time to do some research, and then we'll check in with your answers. All right, are you ready? Let's see what you came up with. First up, Kennedy Space Center in Florida, USA. Why do you think they chose this location? That's right! Florida's sunny weather, flat land, and proximity to the ocean make it perfect for rocket launches. Plus, the region is near the equator, giving rockets an extra boost of speed as the Earth rotates. Next up, the Pacific Spaceport Complex in Alaska. Why do you think this is a good spot for launching rockets? Great guesses! The Pacific Spaceport Complex is in a remote part of Alaska, which means there are lots of open, uninhabited spaces. This is perfect for safety because, like SaxaVord, it's far from busy towns and cities. And with the nearby ocean, it provides a safe area for rockets to land or crash if something goes wrong. Plus, Alaska's location gives rockets a great advantage. They're close to the polar orbit path, which makes it ideal for launching satellites into polar orbits. Remote, safe, and strategically placed for the types of launches they do. Now let's look at French Guiana. What makes this a good place for a launch? Exactly! French Guiana is close to the equator, where the Earth's spin gives rockets a boost of speed, making launches more efficient. That's why it's a great spot for a spaceport. Great job, pals! You're all becoming spaceport experts!
Amazing job, Fredo! By researching these spaceports, you've learned how space, weather and safety impact where we can have rocket launches around the world. SaxaVord Spaceport is the perfect place because we have all of these elements.
Plus, we have the best team working hard to make sure everything goes smoothly.
Exactly, but most importantly, Fredo, today you've earned your very first mission badge.
Wow! Thank you, Bryden. And now I'm one step closer to becoming a real-life Unstronaut. See you next time. And remember, to keep your feet on the ground, but your eyes on the stars.